The day my brother graduated, my dad handed him the keys to a brand new Mercedes. Everyone clapped. Everyone cheered. My mom was crying happy tears. And me? I was standing right there, holding a small, old envelope. No bow. No ribbon. Just a yellowed, wrinkled envelope with my name written on it in my dad's handwriting. I almost laughed. I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. What was inside that envelope didn't just hurt me. It didn't just embarrass me. It destroyed every single thing I thought was real about my life. My family. My identity. My name. All of it, gone. And the worst part? My dad knew. He had always known. And he chose that day, that specific day, to finally tell me the truth. Stay with me. Because this story, you won't believe it until you hear every single word. My name is Sophia. I'm 24 years old. And until 8 months ago, I thought I had a normal life. Not perfect. But normal. My parents had been married for 27 years. My dad was an engineer. My mom ran a small bakery from home. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. We had a house. We had food on the table. We had each other. And then there was my brother, Daniel. 2 years older than me. Daniel was always the golden child. I say that without bitterness, because honestly, back then, I didn't even notice. He was smart, athletic, funny. Everyone loved Daniel. My parents beamed whenever someone talked about him. Me? I was just Sophia. The quiet one. The one who read too many books. The one who got good grades but somehow never got the same reaction when she brought them home. I used to think it was just a personality thing. Some kids get more attention. That's just how families work sometimes. I never made it a big deal in my head. But looking back now, the signs were always there. I just never let myself see them. Daniel's graduation day was a Saturday in June. The whole family came. Aunts, uncles, cousins, family friends. My mom made 3 different cakes. My dad rented a venue for the dinner afterward. It was a massive celebration, and Daniel deserved it. He had worked hard. He graduated with honors. I was genuinely happy for him. After the dinner, when most of the guests had left and it was just close family, my dad stood up and said he had one final surprise for Daniel. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a set of car keys. Brand new Mercedes. Parked right outside. The room exploded. Everyone screaming, hugging, crying. Daniel was shaking. My mom had both hands over her mouth. It was one of those moments that feels like a movie. I was clapping too. I really was. And then my dad looked at me. His expression shifted. Just slightly. But I caught it. Something behind his eyes that I didn't understand. Something heavy. He reached back into his jacket and pulled out a small envelope. He walked over to me slowly. The room had gone a little quiet. People were watching, smiling, assuming this was another gift. He placed the envelope in my hand and said, very quietly, just to me, "I should have given this to you a long time ago. I'm sorry." That was it. That's all he said. Then he turned around and joined the rest of the family who were heading outside to look at Daniel's new car. I stood there alone in the middle of the room, holding this thin, old envelope. I looked down at it. My name was written on the front in my dad's handwriting. But it looked old. The ink was slightly faded. The envelope itself was yellowed at the edges. This wasn't written recently. My hands were already slightly trembling as I opened it. Inside was a single folded document. I unfolded it slowly. It took me a few seconds to understand what I was reading. And then all the air left my body. It was a legal document. Old. Official. Stamped. An adoption certificate. My name. My date of birth. And two names listed as biological parents, neither of which were my mom or my dad. I read it again. And again. And again. I kept thinking my brain was malfunctioning. That I was misreading something. That this was some kind of mistake or prank or misunderstanding. But it wasn't. I was adopted. I had been adopted as an infant. And my parents, the two people I had called mom and dad my entire life, had never told me. Not once. Not ever. Not even a hint. I don't remember walking outside. I don't remember what expression I had on my face. I just remember standing at the edge of the driveway, watching my brother sitting inside his brand new Mercedes, laughing, taking pictures, and my parents standing next to him glowing with pride. And I was holding a piece of paper that told me I didn't belong to any of them. Not really. The rest of that night is a blur. I didn't say anything to anyone. I folded the document, put it back in the envelope, and I put it in my bag. I hugged Daniel goodbye. I told my parents I was tired. I drove home alone. And I sat on my bathroom floor for 2 hours. Not crying. Just empty. Like someone had reached inside my chest and quietly removed everything that made me who I was. My whole identity had been built on a foundation I didn't even know existed. And in one moment, with one piece of paper, that foundation just disappeared. I had 1,000 questions. Who were my real parents? Why did they give me up? Did Daniel know? Had my entire family known this whole time and just never said a word? And the biggest question of all. Why that day? Why did my dad choose that specific day, at Daniel's graduation party, to hand me this? Was it intentional? Was it guilt? Was it a message? I needed answers. And I wasn't going to be able to sleep until I got them. So the next morning, I called my dad. And what he told me broke something in me all over again. My dad picked up on the second ring. He sounded like he hadn't slept either. I didn't do small talk. I just said, I read it. I need you to explain everything. Right now. He was quiet for a long moment. And then he started talking. He told me that he and my mom had struggled to have children for years. They went through treatment after treatment. Nothing worked. Eventually, through a private arrangement, they were connected with a young woman who was pregnant and unable to care for her child. That woman was my biological mother. She was 19 years old. She was alone. She made the hardest decision of her life and signed the papers. My parents took me home when I was 11 days old. My dad said they always intended to tell me. When you're 5, they said. When you're 10. When you're 18. But every time the moment came, they pushed it further. Because they were scared. Because they didn't want to hurt me. Because in their minds, I was theirs, completely and totally, and the paperwork felt like a technicality. But that wasn't the part that destroyed me. That I could have processed. Slowly. Painfully. But I could have gotten there. The part that destroyed me came next. My dad told me that a few weeks before Daniel's graduation, he had been contacted by a lawyer. My biological mother had passed away. And she had left something for me. Not money. Not property. Letters. Years and years of letters that she had written to me and never sent. Letters she had written from the time I was born until just before she died. Letters documenting her entire life, her regrets, her love for me, her reasons, her pain. She had instructed her lawyer to find me after she was gone and make sure I received them. The lawyer had found my dad first. And my dad had sat on this information for 3 weeks before finally handing me that envelope at the party. 3 weeks. He had known my biological mother was gone. He had known she left me letters. He had held all of that and said nothing for 3 weeks. I asked him why. He said he didn't know how to tell me. I asked him where the letters were. He told me the lawyer had them. He gave me the contact information. We didn't say much after that. There was nothing left to say in that moment. I contacted the lawyer the same day. A week later, I was sitting in a quiet office holding a box. Inside were 47 letters. I won't share everything that was in them. Some of it is too personal. Some of it is still too raw. But I will tell you this. She loved me. In a way that was so honest and so painful it was almost hard to read. She had spent her entire life wondering about me, hoping I was okay, hoping I was happy, hoping the family she chose for me had been good to me. She never moved on. She never stopped thinking about me. And I never got the chance to know her. Because by the time I found out she existed, she was already gone. That is the gift that destroyed everything. Not because it was cruel. Not because anyone meant to hurt me. But because the truth, no matter how it comes, always costs something. And mine cost me the one chance I might have had to look my real mother in the eyes and tell her that I turned out okay. I'm still processing everything. Some days are harder than others. My relationship with my parents is complicated right now. I'm giving myself time. But I have her letters. And I read them when I need to feel close to her. And somehow, in the middle of all this loss, that is enough for now. Before I go, I have to ask you something. Has anything like this ever happened in your family? A secret that came out too late? A truth that changed everything? Or maybe there's someone in your life right now holding something back that you deserve to know? Drop it in the comments. You don't have to share details. Even just saying yes, I understand this means more than you know. And if this story moved you, if it made you feel something real, please subscribe. Every week I bring you stories that are emotional, raw, and completely real. Stories that stay with you. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss one. I'll see you in the next one.